your design intentions behind it?
Well, in terms of design intention for those goo mine, we aim to give back the control of the bomb site to the defending team. And we also want to have a very dynamic operators as a trapper that can dispose this trap during the entire round.
So how does this gadget actually work? How does he deploy it?
Well, first you start the round with one of those things. You can toss it around, and you will acquire a new one every 35 seconds.
5 seconds.
Those traps are cloaked, as you can see. As soon as they're deployed, they become cloaked, and you can barely see them. And they go to detect.
So I just want to be clear here. These are regenerating over time throughout the entirety of the round, right?
Exactly.
Up to about 7.
Yes.
So at the end of the round, at the very end of the round, you would have 7 goo mines.
Yes, if you survive that long.
If you survive that long, or if you're just not using them. So really interesting mechanic. Now, what happens when someone steps on one of these goo mines?
Well, when you step on the mine, you will have this feedback visually that will tell you that you've been poisoned. It means that you can't run anymore. It will take some damage right away, and then you will take some damage through time. You can get rid of this trap by interacting with it and pressing your action button. You will remove it, but it's required to take the time to do that, so you need to find cover. You can do this during the action.
So there we see an operator stepping on one of these goo mines, taking an initial hit of damage, and then additional damage over time until she actually has to go down, bend down, and pull out the goo mine dart from her leg.
And during that entire time, you cannot sprint.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
So not only are you taking this damage over time, but you can't sprint. You can only walk around. So really inhibiting movement speed, and
yes.
While also adding damage onto that as well. So what happens from Lesion's perspective when one of these mines trip?
Well, the thing is, you can see in your UI this white symbol that shows where your mines are deployed. And when the symbol disappears, it means that either an attacker stepped on one or destroyed it. So it gives you also a bit of information, and you can act on it, get a kill, or communicate to your teammates.
So that's really interesting. So not only is it this really powerful trap mine that's cloaked, does damage over time, does the initial damage, and slows your opponent, but it also provides intel to Lesion himself, and only himself, right? He can only has all of his mines that he's deployed out. So he's really a powerful counter rush operator, is that right?
Definitely. He's great against 5-speed Ash, and he will prevent those rusher in the bomb site from being free to kill everyone.
Yeah, and let's take a look at his loadout, the basics.
Definitely. He's a 2-speed, 2-armor operator who has access to a shotgun with, by default, a silencer, and also a very cool SMG.
So a silenced shotgun is one of his primary weapons.
Exactly.
And a really cool SMG. It looks really cool in that outline.
It is.
What about his secondary gadget?
As for secondary gadgets, he has access to the impact grenade, so very useful when you're on the site to create rotationals and reshape the entire site, and also a shield that can deploy probably in a doorway, place a trap behind it, and create some cool combination like that.
So in a similar way that Frost kind of changed that meta where you have to actually look down as you're vaulting over those shields.
Yes.
You're going to have to also keep an eye out for cloaked goo mines as well.
Exactly.
That's gonna be pretty crazy. It's cool. So we've been talking a lot about how this operator interacts with other operators. Tell us a little bit more about how he can be countered.
As for counters, we will find some very classic interaction. You can destroy the goo mine using bullets or explosion. IQ will spot them. Thatcher will destroy them. Twitch can destroy them as well. And if you make the mistake of tossing one of those in an electrified barbed wire, well, you will lose your goo mine.
Oh man. So because Bandit's battery just destroys everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.